Okay guys, and welcome back to another live trading video for the 23rd of October 2020. You're actually seeing me. I have a new setup. I got a new toy, which is going to lead me to, I guess I'll talk about right now. I'm interested in starting to stream maybe an hour or two a day in the mornings, maybe half hour before the market opens to show some pre-market stuff, and then maybe talk a little bit of trading in the morning, and then maybe do some scans kind of periodically throughout the week, talking about algorithms I'm working on, strategies I have, that type of thing. If that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments below, and Twitter and all of that. My Twitter handle is the same as my YouTube. It's Bonpara, Bonpara. So hit me up there, share it around, give it a like, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. Just let me know what you think. I just kind of want to take this YouTube thing a little bit more seriously and push it and just kind of see what it can do. I like teaching, obviously. I've been doing it for a while now. So again, let me know what you think. I don't want to take too much time. Let me hit my little fancy device here and put me down here. So let's take a quick look at, let me just move this and this up to there and kind of show you guys what's going on for this week, as well as clear up some confusion for last, where there was a couple emails I got, so I want to address that as well, where they had thought they should have gotten filled, or I should have gotten filled in places that I didn't. So this is going to be a good time to talk about that and the differences of it. So the main thing to note is, first of all, this is not intended, what I do here, for you just to follow me kind of blindly, right? It's not what I do. I'm not an investment advisor. I don't know anything about your trading strategy, that kind of stuff. So not really the point initially. And then second, they were saying, well, they were trying to follow me, but they were getting filled at times that I wasn't. And if you see this week above us right here, I didn't get filled on anything. So I think what people thought I was doing is just placing stop limits here. But because of Trade Ideas and its ability to auto trade, I can set certain parameters and say, take the trade if this happens, if this happens, if this happens, right? And I'm not going to go through all of the settings right now. Maybe I'll do that on one of the streams. But mainly, it's like if it gaps through the price, I'm not interested. If there's a massive lack of volume, if relative volume is way down, I'm not interested. I want to see these things move through the price I'm interested in. I want to see them move on volume, and I want to see them move quickly. So, right. So just note that these areas I have them on. These are areas in which the algorithm would be interested in getting involved. It doesn't mean that if it passes through that area, that I will. So again, we'll quickly go over to, can you guys tell I'm like my new toy here? Over to this one, where you can see nothing for this week, right? Here's the same equity curve. Again, if you guys are new here, essentially what I do is I just use Trade Ideas and her ability to backtest and auto trade, and I build these strategies. I try to figure out what's working well in this current market environment. I set 2 longs and 2 shorts each week into the algorithm and see if they're going to trigger. We hold them until the end of the week, and then we go from there. So you can see nothing for this week. And then if we go back here, you can see, again, nothing up here for this week. So we always start with a little technical analysis on the SPY, mainly just because, and I think I clicked a button that's going to open a website by accident there with that pen, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, I may have done that behind there. That's fine. Main reason I do this is because I want to have a general understanding of what the market's going to do, and I'm going to look for stocks that I think are going to be relatively strong or relatively weak to the market, depending on that current action. So right here on the SPY, you can see we've had this kind of nice push up after this last down move, and we're kind of putting in what, until proven otherwise, looks to me to be a little bit of a bull flag here. So I wouldn't mind seeing some more kind of chopping around through here and then a burst. Again, noting that I think we are 2 weeks away from your guys' election down the US, and that's going to be massive market moving news. So I have for the next week, if we go to the calendar here, that will be covered up, but I'm looking at it. For the next week goes till the end of October. And then the week after that is the election week. So next week, there won't be a video. I may do a technical analysis wrap up, or I may do something like that, but I won't be picking stocks. So I'll come on and I'll show you guys what happened, but not going to be picking anything for next week. From a swing trading point of view, I'm sitting out that week entirely. What I'm going to do is focus on day trading, which is one of the reasons that I was talking about streaming there. So another thing that I'm going to do quickly, again, I want to keep these fairly short, these videos, is to go through why I wasn't triggered in certain things, where again, I had a couple people email me and they said, I'm confused. I'm following you. Again, I said, don't follow me directly. I like to educate. I don't want you to follow me. A, I'm not the best trader in the world, but B, you should be owning your own trades. You should have a reason for doing it. You should understand why. These things are really, really important, especially when things inevitably go wrong in trading and you have periods of pullback. Again, if I go back over to this one here, right, you can see, there are long periods of time. So if we go from week 12 to week 16, nothing really happened. If we go from week, week 26 all the way to week 32 or so, nothing happened, right? These are, I am willing and I'm able to kind of sit through these pullbacks because I know that these pullbacks, these sideways movements are going to happen. It's just the way that trading works, right? Anyone who says they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, they're lying to you, is the best way to put it, right? So, I am fully honest and upfront that the fact that, my win rate is somewhere around 55 to 60%. So what happens is I have a lot of periods where everything's moving sideways and nothing really happening. And then I'll nail a couple really good risk reward trades and things will work out for me. And that's just the way my trading works. The whole 80-20 principle, right? When it comes to a lot of things. So, for example, I'm going to really talk about Baidu and Smile Direct Club. Baidu, I'm actually in from another account. That's why you see a stop loss order there, but just ignore that. For this account, I wasn't triggered because you can see that on Monday and Tuesday, the stock kind of moved down. And then we had this gap up on Wednesday. I have everything set for this strategy, which again, the only work I do on this strategy is the work that that I've done right now, and then I let the algorithm decide when to enter and exit. I basically told Trade Ideas, if the stock gaps, I don't want to get into it, right? I want it to break these prices, cleanly through. So with Smile Direct Club, same thing. It got up here, but I'm not taking that trade because that's a news gap. And it had pulled back from the level that I initially wanted to trade. Same, let's look at CHRW, right? Where it kind of technically violated this price, but it did it on such low volume that it didn't trigger the criteria that I need. So again, it's not just if it gets this price, trade it. It's add these things to lists and have the system trade those lists. So for this week, adding to the list, let's start with the shorts just because I have them here. We have BJ Wholesales, ticker BJ. Essentially, the concept here is just looking at this possible bear flag right here. And you can see this push through. And I talked about relative strength and weakness before. So I'm going to go right from here and keep this in your head and go over to the SPY. You can see the SPY is pulled back and is holding up strong from this low. Like let's anchor at this low at 924. And then I go to BJ. And you can see that, this low at 924-ish, right? Call it the same kind of low. We're right near that. So relatively weak to the market. And IIPR, same kind of thing, right? Let's go back to the SPY. And again, we're just looking very short term, how this thing is kind of coiling up, right? There's a lot of bottoming tails here in its 5-day range. It's higher. Again, we're looking for about that period of time because we're trading that short. So if I go back to IIPR, you can see, right, it's just been down this week. So on the other side, we have Qualcomm. And again, I'm just going to go back from here to the SPY, QCOM. You can see how its pullback here was almost non-existent. You can see a wide range doji here and a hammer candle and a hammer candle all at this short-term moving average. So it's showing me that there's, at least for now, someone holding it up. So again, it goes into the system. Basically what it's looking for is for a high volume move that doesn't happen on a gap, doesn't happen in the first 5 minutes of the day, to break through this area, which TradeIdeas just calls daily resistance. And when it gets through there, then the trade will be taken. And same with OLLI. Again, this is a little bit closer to, sorry, something going on here, a little bit closer to what the, sorry about that. This is a little bit closer to what the SPY looks like. The reason I really like about this is the fact that it's really holding this base really well. So again, I'm looking at just this kind of area here for when I'm talking about relative strength and weakness, and you can see the angle there as opposed to on the SPY, the angle here, right? So again, relative strength, weakness, accompanied with things like patterns and this kind of thing. So again, everything is looking good for those strategies. So let's just go back here. So again, tell me what you think about this. Do you care about having me on here at all? Does this personalize it in any way? Does by hand movements help? And then what do you think about me possibly taking an hour or two a day and just loading up the stream and going live and maybe answering some questions and doing that kind of stuff there. So again, thank you if you're made this late in this video. Subscribe, share it around. Let's get this YouTube thing going. Also below is links for TradeIdeas, which is the program that I've showed you that I do the auto trading and the scanning and building these algorithms for, along with an email for mentorship. So I do mentor traders one-on-one. I don't do it with everyone. There's just not enough time in the day. So send me an email about, what you think you need and why you think you need it and this kind of stuff. And I'll send you a little video that I have that's privated that just talks all about that if that's interesting to you at all. So, all right, guys, that is it for today, and trade safe out there.